I'm Drew Helland.
And I'm Nick Bell, and you're tuned into the Half Done Podcast. Back as we promised. It's been a couple weeks, and bi-monthly's happening.
Yeah, I hope you guys had a time to check out the first episode. It is on our Facebook page and YouTube page.
Yep.
Oh, we also got a subscriber, so we now have 2 subscribers.
What? I did not know that. So yeah, we're blowing up. Probably a big time deal, and probably somebody that we don't know personally is who subscribed, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably someone famous from Orange County.
Yep, some big time deal. They're gonna actually pick us up, and then we're gonna make a lot of money, and we're gonna get real big off this podcast. So I think big things are in store for us.
Or we might lose a subscriber.
We could lose the subscriber too after this episode, but we'll find out pretty quick. So, cool. Well, yeah, been an eventful couple weeks for us. Since last time we spoke. So, kind of kick into it. We've been working a lot. Did some vacationing.
Yeah, you kind of have a cool story. That's pretty entertaining. Do you want to kind of talk about your trip that you did?
Yeah, sure. So here last week, or it's been about a week anyway, down in Cartagena, Colombia. So the country, every time I kept telling people that I was going to Colombia, they asked where, like South Carolina. I said, no, like the country, Colombia. So it was awesome. Weather was perfect. It was hot, sun out, slight ocean breeze. Drinks were cold. The water was, the perfect temperature. Super nice people. Beaches were great. I mean, can't really complain about anything too much down there. So it was a good time. It was a much needed kind of vacation. I feel a lot more rested and rejuvenated and ready to get back in the swing of things and kind of keep things going. So.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people kind of have that spring fever right now because since last time we spoke, at least in the town where we do our broadcasting, it hit like 50, 52. So, but right now, obviously, it's pretty cold in the Midwest, just barely above that freezing line. So I genuinely suggest if you can take a vacation in February, late February, like early March, I say go for it.
I would say that's probably about the best time to do it. Well, hell, actually, would be even better is if you can get one done in like the beginning of January, and then again late February, early March, so you get a couple of double doses, especially if you live around here, because it sucks.
Yeah.
The weather's just cold, and you're stuck inside a lot, and yeah, it's difficult to get out and enjoy any sort of sunshine. You kind of got to look through the window and just dream of somewhere else.
Totally. It was kind of funny. I was reading because like SAD, the like seasonal.
Oh yeah. Seasonal depression. It's something. Yeah.
Yeah, it ends with depression or disorder or something. But it's funny because the symptoms of it is poor diet, which I feel like in the winter no one's eating. You're not. There's no garden for you to pick from. So you're eating terribly. And it's also said lack of exercise, which again, I know you hit the gym pretty frequently, but I pretty much get my exercise from my job and then when it's warm out, like being active outside. And then there was another one. I think it was like, I think one of the tips was like, oh, listen to like happy music to help like get away from the winter blues. And it's like, I don't do that in the winter. I just listen to the saddest stuff I can think of.
Just heavy death metal all day.
And the slow death metal, so it's like brooding.
Yeah, real brooding stuff. Actually, random flipping kind of a different topic, but did you hear, I'm trying to remember the guy's name from Megadeth. They had one of the Megadeth guys at one of the breweries in town like a day or two ago.
You're kidding me. No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, it was just I popped up. So shout out to Hydra Brewery. I go there pretty frequently and enjoy the atmosphere. I mean, it's a lot of metal, rock music. It's a pretty cool place. Beer's good, but yeah, on their Facebook page, I looked today. I hadn't been on Facebook here in over a week, and popped up. They had a picture of him, and I was like, huh, that's kind of weird. And then it said, yeah, he was there just hanging out like a day or so ago, just doing autographs and, chilling with whoever came through. So I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Since we were talking, heavy metal, it just shot that in my head.
Totally. And during our kind of in between seasons, season 1 and season 2, we had a couple meetings at Hydra.
Yep, had a few meetings there. Some very lengthy business discussions and fanciness occurred. So.
Yeah, a lot of number crunching and stuff.
Yep, numbers, contacts, building up the repertoire. Obviously dressed in suits the whole time because it was a business ordeal.
Correct. Just a quick question: was it the bassist? Because I know he lives in Minnesota.
It might have been the bassist. I'd have to look at the thing. It just like kind of quickly popped up, and I was like, "Huh, that's odd." And then I completely forgot about it until just now. So,
I mean, that's crazy. They're like pretty much like the '80s, like '90s, like metal band behind like Metallica.
Yep.
Which is awesome.
I mean, even though they kind of came a little bit from Metallica because of lead singer and everything got kicked out of Metallica originally.
Oh, of Megadeth?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I know nothing about the band.
Yeah, he was their original lead guitarist.
You're kidding me? Wow.
Yep, and then he those dudes partied real hard.
Megadeth or
like Metallica. They partied real hard, but the guy that went and formed Megadeth, and a lot of people are probably going to get mad at me for getting his name, but I just can't think of it right now. He partied way harder.
Oh, really?
But it was problematic because he wasn't showing up to band meetings and he wasn't practicing and wasn't helping them get the stuff. So even though he was friends with the original guys, they all had to kick him out just so they couldn't, or just so they could kind of continue to grow and. Dave Mustaine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Just pull it up on the computer here.
So, he just went real hard. What, Dime Head? No, Dime Head's a different dude. He did a lot of drugs too. Yeah. Besides the drinking, but.
Yeah, I don't know too. I'd like to consider myself kind of like a rock and roll aficionado, but don't know much about metal.
Not quite your gig.
Yeah, not. I mean, some stuff is cool.
Yeah. It was actually, this isn't, now that you said rock and roll aficionado, this has nothing to do with heavy metal or anything, but so I listened to a lot of NPR, National Public Radio, because it's awesome.
Yeah.
And today when I was on the road, driving back from my trip, getting back to the studio because they had work to do.
Oh, yeah.
I was listening to it and there's a lot of music and random things you didn't know you needed that pop up on NPR. And one of them today was the song Last Night by The Strokes, but it was to a fiddle and acoustic guitar. And things I didn't know I needed in my life. It was awesome.
Cool.
That's the best way I can put it. It was just really good. So I was like, hell, I gotta tell Drew because Drew's a big Strokes fan.
Heck yeah.
It was literally on my way over here. So.
Oh, cool. And was there vocals or was the melody
it was vocals and everything.
Oh, nice.
I'm trying to remember the show that it was. I only caught a little bit. It wasn't. Oh God, now it'll bother me too.
Was it like a South Dakota thing or just
it was national? It was a national one.
Gotcha.
National one. So
okay.
I'll have to look and see what the show was. But God, yeah, it was pretty cool. I don't know if I could find the cover version, but they just randomly they were doing some jokes. They had Nick Offerman on, and then one of the guys was like, let's do the Strokes, and then they did the Strokes, and I was like, that was really good.
Heck yeah.
And then Nick Offerman was just really funny.
So that's cool. Speaking of the Strokes, this happened just a couple days ago, but the lead singer, he got a whole bunch of flack. His name's Julian Casablancas in an interview because he was saying that Jimi Hendrix didn't become popular until after his death and all this stuff. And the person doing the interview was like, what are you talking about? He closed Woodstock, everyone knew who he was. His death was this huge thing and stuff. And then he's like, oh, whatever. So it's kind of funny because he's trying to promote his he's in the band called The Voids as well.
Okay.
And they're coming out with an album, I think on the 30th of this month. But I think it's so funny and this happens in the media all the time, you try to push I don't know. It's like you're trying to promote something, but like you might say something stupid, or they might ask a certain question, and then it just like, I don't know. Your goal of the interview just
Just
it's
completely
totally
gone.
blown away. Yeah.
I can assure you guys that are listening, all of you famous people, bands and everything, other people like that, if you come on our show and we interview you, I can promise you're not gonna get anything real weird or
And it's
stingy happening. It's gonna be literally verbatim.
yeah.
We might ask
uncut.
some dumb, uncut. We're probably gonna ask some dumb questions, but it'll be fun.
Yeah, definitely.
So hit us up, all you big time people that want to be on our show.
Yeah.
Let us know. Even you small time people, listeners, we're not opposed to talking.
Yeah, we'll think about it. No.
we'll think about it. We'll put some heavy thought into it, weigh the pros and the cons.
Yeah.
Maybe do a test run with you first.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
But yeah, we are in the new studio, and we do have multiple microphones hooked up, and we've even got a new couch in the studio.
yeah, we got a couch in the studio. We got some more lighting in the studio.
It's a floral pattern couch.
Floral.
There's the air hockey table.
Yep, air hockey table. We got a bass guitar, acoustic guitar, piano, like a keyboard. I don't know what that is. A sampler. We got a sample.
Yes, sample pad.
You gotta. I was gonna ask you about this prior. I've seen them all. I always see them, and I have no idea what the hell they do. Like, do you plug them in? You record on certain things, and then you sample. How do those things work?
Yeah, so this comes with an SD card, and you can pre-program noises and assign them to each of the blocks. So it's kind of cool because it's just one sensor. So you hit the block, and then it makes the sound.
Oh, okay.
And
That's kind of what I thought it was.
And actually, and we actually screwed around with people that know my roommates, Brandon. To the listeners out there, we were actually just screwing around with recording a tune, and I used the sample pad for the first time, and we were able to just throw in an acoustic drum set on it, which is cool because it's still like synthetic music, but it sounds like real. So
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Actually.
but yeah, just kind of painting the picture of the studio
Yeah,
here.
goodness.
There's also a
some-
Lego,
Yep, a Lego set next to
a
us.
Star Wars. It's not like the X-wing, but
It's something.
it's the U-wing. U as in Uganda.
Using Uganda. Yeah.
I think it's from Rogue One, right?
I think it's from Rogue One.
Yeah.
We do have, and this is for you guys that'll get it out there, I'll explain the joke, but we do have a really nice rug that just ties the room together. And if you guys haven't seen the movie The Big Lebowski, then you won't appreciate the joke. But if you have, then you get it. So watch the movie if you haven't seen it.
That's the half-done homework
Half-
of the next couple weeks.
Yep, half done homework the next couple weeks. I did actually here watched a few since the last time we've had a show come out. Saw a few different movies. I had some time to kill on the plane, and then even afterwards too. So I live right by the cheap theater in town. So if you're trying to stalk me, good luck. There's a lot of apartments around there.
There are.
But so I went across here after our last podcast before I went out of town, and I went and saw The Shape of Water. Which
Okay.
a lot of people probably just recently heard because it won the Best Picture and a bunch of other awards for the Academy Award things. And I love Guillermo del Toro. Like, all of his movies I think are great.
Pan's Labyrinth is awesome.
Pan's Labyrinth's good. Both the Hellboys, Blade 2, Pacific Rim, all that stuff. Crimson Tide.
He was gonna. That's a great one too.
Yeah.
He was gonna do the Hobbit movies.
Yep, he was going to do the Hobbit movies, but he just ended up producing.
Yeah, that would have been so sweet.
Oh, it would have been super cool because
Yeah.
he's super big into the practical effects stuff. And minus Pacific Rim, which
yeah.
the first Pacific Rim, they have the new one coming out here soon. But the first one, I loved the first one. It was exactly what I was wanting. It was giant robots fighting giant alien monster things and destroying buildings. It was great.
What else do you need?
Yeah, what else do I need? I'm sitting in the theater. The plot, it's not super crazy plot or whatever, but there's a scene where they go into space and the one robot pulls a sword out and cuts the alien monster in half, and you're just in a theater on a big screen. You're like, yeah, this is awesome. Standing up, and you don't even think to ask yourself why he never pulled out the giant sword that he apparently had the entire time. but it was because he was beating monsters down with giant ships. So it was a pretty great movie.
Nice.
But yeah, anyway,
You like Shape of Water?
I love Shape of Water.
Okay.
It's like a really, the best way I can put it, it's not for everyone.
Okay.
If you've seen Pan's Labyrinth and you enjoyed Pan's Labyrinth, then you'll like it.
Okay.
If you haven't seen Pan's Labyrinth or you didn't like Pan's Labyrinth, I would say it's kind of up in the air because it's kind of weird. A lot of people get put off of, oh, you know, it's like this sea creature, monster creature thing or whatever. And I mean, it is kind of odd, but it's like oddly beautiful. Like, it's like maybe the best way to put it. Like, you get done, like, you're like, wow, like my heart things and like feels and stuff. So it's really well done, though. I mean, the acting's fantastic. The script's good. I mean, it's a different movie. It's not your typical movie.
Sure.
There's a lot of people that are that probably have seen it or would see it and be like, "Oh, this is just dumb. This is silly," type deal. But I mean, if you're not just going to a movie to watch something like really monotonously the same of, oh, this dude's racing a car and they're gonna steal a vault, type stuff, and this is just mindless. There's
like
some
a dime a dozen.
Yeah, like a dime a dozen movie. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other one I watched too when I was on the plane, because I didn't get to see it when it was in town, was 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri.
Okay, and that kind of was up for a bunch of the awards too, right?
Yep, that was up for a bunch of stuff,
me.
and it was awesome too.
Cool.
I love the director Martin. I'll butcher his last name. Martin McDonough or whatever. He's like British dude.
Yeah.
Like I've seen most of his movies too. Like he did 7 Psychopaths, which is
Oh, that's a good one.
super good. In Bruges, if you haven't seen it, it's super good too. I mean, they're just like darkly humorous, and like 3 Billboards, it's got some, you know, kind of dark, harsh humor, but it's not like his other movies. It's not something that you come out of and you go, I feel chipper today.
Yeah.
You don't think, yeah, this is really heartwarming, because it's not. But it's really good. Like it's worth a watch. And then I saw Logan Lucky, which kind of flew under the radar. Has my boy Daniel Craig in it.
Okay.
Channing Tatum's in it. I always forget the guy's name, but he plays Ren in the new Star Wars.
Star Wars? Oh.
Yeah. I can't remember the actors.
Ray?
Or not Ray. Kylo Ren. Yeah.
Oh, Kylo Ren. Oh,
yeah, he plays
Driver.
Yeah.
Something Driver.
Adam Driver.
Yeah,
Is
Adam
that
Driver.
Adam Driver? He's in it. There's a few other people that are in it, and it's kind of a ridiculous movie, but like a good ridiculous. Like it's like a different, fun, kind of silly ridiculous.
Cool.
It's about these 2 brothers in West Virginia that are just dull and slow as a box of rocks that decide they're gonna go and like steal all of the money from this massive race, like NASCAR race in like Charlottesville, North Carolina, or something like that. And like then they're gonna go break out Daniel Craig from the jail and stuff. Like it's a pretty fun,
Like a Dukes of Hazzard kind of type.
a little bit.
Calamity,
I mean, it's got like a little bit of like silliness to it. It's got some like kind of a little bit more serious maybe elements to it, but like it's pretty overall. It's just like it's a fun movie to watch.
Okay.
And then I saw the Lego Ninjago movie.
Okay.
Entertaining movie.
Nice.
If you like the other Lego movies, you'll like that one. It's not as good as the other 2, in my opinion.
Well, I was
fun.
I was surprised on how much I liked the Batman movie.
The Lego Batman.
That was great.
It was awesome. I actually thought it was kind of fun. After that movie came out, I saw one of our good buddies that Anthony, who's done a lot of other stuff, was on radio with us.
Yep.
And everything.
And he's the other half of the Devious Duo.
Other half of the Devious Duo. So he's huge huge Batman fan.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Lego fan. He's a huge Batman fan, and he'd posted something after that movie came out. I can't remember, but I don't get on Facebook often, but I hopped on. It was like the first thing that popped up. He had like commented in some big section on like true, I'm air quoting, true Batman fans, and if you're a true fan, name a villain that's not in a movie or something like that. And all these people, there was just tons of comments. He had commented, all these people were naming all these villains. And I start reading through the list. I'm like, you're all wrong because they're in the Lego Batman movie. And then I commented on it. And the only person that got back to me was Anthony. He was like, touche. But I was like, you guys aren't obviously true Batman fans if you didn't recognize that literally the Lego Batman movie through almost
It's
probably,
got them all.
it's got like every one of them. There's probably a few missing, but it's got like all of his villains in it.
Really entertaining ending and stuff.
Super entertaining ending.
But so if you don't mind me going back to kind of the whole award season, here I want to get your opinion on something. Because it seems like, like you said, the movies that were nominated and won was something that, you know, isn't for everyone. It's a little out there, you know, like where you can totally see like you know, it's more art than a movie. You can see that it's like a piece of art. So with the Grammys, I know that just happened not too long ago. And no offense if you like Bruno Mars, but he pretty much won every award.
Oh yeah.
And it seems like there's this disconnect, at least in my opinion, from music and every other type of like medium, because with, you know, the Academy Awards or whatever, you see stuff that, you know, actually is like full of artistic intent and stuff, and then, you know, and then it's like, oh, just here's all the awards to Bruno Mars, or here's all the awards to like Adele, like for 1 year, you know. So just what are your thoughts on that, I guess?
I was gonna say, I always forget about the Grammys because, like, to me, anytime I used to kind of somewhat pay attention or notice them, it was always, like you said, just to like what's super popular. It seems like the Grammys are just for the super popular stuff. And I think that a lot of stuff, and maybe we're just super disconnected from what's really good, but
maybe
a lot of like a lot of stuff. No offense to Bruno Mars, I think he puts out really good music, or Adele, or like other artists like that. Honest to God, I think there's a lot more artistically and like musically better albums or musicians and stuff that are out there. Like I remember, I think it was last year, 2 years ago, I can't remember, it might have been a Rolling Stone article or something I saw that was kind of talking about the Grammys and how, you know, it used to kind of be, you know, important or whatever, and it had some merit, but then, you know, as of modern times, recently, whatever, you know, they term, it's more of just you know, here's the popular artists, musicians, we're going to give them some awards, and you know, not pay attention to everyone else. It was like, if you wanted to really mean something, you'd cut back on the amount of awards, because they have categories for freaking everything.
Oh, that's very true.
Then you would, you know, get some people that, you know, paid a little bit more attention, or, you know, followed music a little bit closer. I don't know how they choose who wins a Grammy, but get some people that, you know, maybe listen to more of a variety than what was on like pop station or something.
Oh, totally. And I do believe that it's all like the huge major label stuff. They, you know, they campaign for certain albums. So there is like, you know, like marketing with it. And it's like a small label isn't going to have the money to do that. And I don't think they would even want to. Because like my opinion is pretty much like, it seems like the stuff that gets chosen, it's like, maybe it's like really catchy and stuff, and actually Justin Vernon of Bon Iver, he tweeted a really cool article where it was there's a couple articles, but one of them was this Onion article where it's like, oh, Nation reaffirms that it likes stuff that it's familiar with, because the whole Bruno Mars album is just kind of like retreading of like, you know, funk and like disco of like the 70s and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I thought that was kind of funny, but it just seems like, you know, it's music that's just like, you know, chewing gum, where, you know, like you might like it for like 30 seconds, but then like it's just like it's become so dull and tasteless.
Oh yeah.
So it would be cool, but I don't understand why it's the Grammys like itself is like, why is that so different from, you know, like the movie awards, where, you know, not even every theater shows like the movies that are up for the best awards.
It's
not like a blockbusters, you know. It's not like what was a big movie
this last year.
Yeah,
I mean, like any of the comic book movies.
Sure. I mean, it's like they're not winning Best Picture, you know?
Yeah, I saw something. It was kind of a shot at some of the comic book movies or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I go to them. I know you watch quite a few of them too.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing against comic book movies. I really like a lot of them.
Sure.
But it was kind of funny, like, you see a lot of people get up in arms about, oh, this movie should have got in. Like, one of them, people were like, oh, how come, like, Wonder Woman didn't get into anything? Well, Wonder Woman was a good movie. Like, the first, you know, 2/3, 3/4, whatever you want to say. Like, the ending, and this is me throwing spoiler alerts out there. If you haven't seen Wonder Woman in the year and a half it's been out and you plan on watching it, you know, just tune out for the next 30 seconds and then come back in, because like the ending of Wonder Woman, with the exception of when the dude flies the plane up and, you know, sacrifices himself, that whole boss fight thing, super lame. Like, it's just super retreading on any other, like, comic book movie. Here's a big bad boss fight, overly CGI'd, and you get nothing out of it.
And I saw the movie, but I can't really remember it. Was the villain, like, was he... Oh, yeah, just kidding.
Well, they had, like, a red herring villain.
Exactly. That's
which
what I
I
was
thought would have been a lot better of a villain than when they actually pulled out their, you know, big bad villain. Because I was like, that just looks like a mess, and that was lame. And then it just... There's nothing that got me caring about that villain. I was like, oh, surprise, he showed up.
And it is kind of sad because I'm assuming that Wonder Woman is older than Captain America, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so it is kind of a bummer that, you know, because there is like a lot of similarities with like the World Wars and stuff, that, you know, that movie came out afterwards, but it seems like it's kind of like retreading those lines. Yeah. So I mean, but like Wonder Woman is like OG, you know, like that's like so old.
She's like way back.
Yeah.
No, super boss. Like, the rest of it was a great movie.
Yeah, I had fun watching it.
I thought it was a fun movie. Like, there's a lot of movies that are fun movies that come out that, you know, you can enjoy. They're not terrific or anything by, you know, any stretch, but they're fun. You can enjoy them, or they can be really good, but they're still not, you know, super crazy great. I mean, hell, even same with music, except it's different with the Grammys. Like, I haven't listened to the whole Bruno Mars album. I've heard a couple of the songs on thing. I mean, they're fun songs. Yeah. But it doesn't mean I would say that they're better than any, you know, other things. I can think of a ton of other songs that I think would be more deserving or better than their things that came out in the same time frame. Oh, totally. And I think it goes back to just the whole escapism, because like when, you know, you'll watch a good movie and you'll like totally be immersed in that, and it's like in some of the movies you watch is like, you know, it's just like, you know, laughing or like just watching from scene to scene. And with music, like just like totally getting lost in music, you know, you do that with your eyes closed, like sitting down on a couch or like on your bed. For like Bruno Mars, you know, it's like you're listening to it at the club, you know, or like at a party where it's not like where you're hearing it, but you're maybe not like listening to it. Yeah, if that makes sense. You're not really focusing on it. Yeah, so that's just kind of my 2 cents on all that jazz. Actually, speaking, you just mentioned like listening to albums, like paying attention. Here, probably last week or 2 weeks or whatever, for some reason it always, like, you know, I'll get like kickbacks. You know, some albums came way back when all of a sudden you just get kind of an itch. You're like, yeah, I gotta re-listen to this. Oh, sure. Dr. Dre's 2001. Oh my god. Like like I've heard songs from, obviously you hear songs pretty frequently. Yeah. But my god, that album, I forgot how much I enjoyed it. Because that was it for the longest time. He hadn't released music forever. Put that out so he had The Chronic, then he had 2001. You know, The Chronic came out like 94, 95. 2001 came out in like 98, 99. I think it was 99. And then he didn't have a new album until like 2015. Compton. Yeah. Until the Compton album. Yeah. Well, he had that one that everybody talked, like he always talked about was coming out. Was it? Yeah, what was it called? I can kind of like picture the name of it, but he always talked about it coming out, and then he just shelved it. Yeah. He just stopped. I think I saw something where he has like 500 Detox. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Talking about this Detox album for years. It was supposed to come out in like 2007 and then 2010, and then like he just said, "Nah, I'm not feeling it," and just didn't release it. saw something where like somewhere here recently they were talking about him. I remember it was an NPR thing, but they said he has like 500 plus unreleased tracks.
Oh,
Dr. Dre does. Like, and I was like, holy crap, because it was talking. They had like an NPR show or whatever talking about like hip hop and how it's changed like the country, and they were talking about like the three, you know, in their opinion, I'd agree with it for the most part, the three like biggest influences on hip hop, like Dr. Dre, Jay-Z, and then P. Diddy.
Oh, sure.
Because, you know, you had Dr. Dre, like, essentially helped bring gangster rap to the mainstream. Like, Jay-Z's, like, you know, Rockefeller.
Oh, yeah.
P. Diddy had all the East Coast, like, all that stuff. Bad Boy Records and that. And they were talking about, like, the differences between them. Like, you know, P. Diddy's your typical salesman, really in your face, loud, vocal about all this stuff.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's the guy that'll show up to like a room, waits to read the room, listens to everybody, and then says his two cents, really well spoken, elegant, like takes time thinking. And then like Dr. Dre's the guy at a party who's in the corner who doesn't talk to anyone because he's super reserved, but he's just a crazy perfectionist. And if he doesn't like it or doesn't feel it, he just shelves it, no matter what everyone else tells him. And that's where they got. They're like, yeah, he has like 500 plus unreleased things. He's had 3 albums and a 20 plus year solo career. He like has shelved entire albums and CDs.
Well, what I just pulled up on my phone is that Detox was like, he did recording sessions from 2002 to 2015. That's 13 years.
13 years of recording, and then just stopped.
Yeah, which
And
is
then-
crazy.
Then recorded a different album and put it out.
And he was even like, he was like really early hip hop, because before NWA he was in like what, the running crew, or what's it called?
World Class Wrecking Crew.
Wrecking
I think
Crew,
was
that's it, yeah.
He's like he goes way back before
Yeah.
NWA. Yeah, because that documentary they did, the Defiant ones, where it's
sure.
like him and Jimmy Iovine. It like talks about all of his stuff, and like, I mean, he's way back in the day. And then he's just, I got a lot of, you know, Dre's done some questionable things that are, you know, pretty shitty, but overall, like, I got a lot of respect for him. I mean, he is just intense about his craft, and he puts out some phenomenal stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's funny. He records a bunch of things. And when they were in the Defiant ones, they were talking about, you know, the Detox album. They had like Eminem and a bunch of Snoop Dogg, all these other people who had heard tracks from it and heard stuff. And they're like, it's phenomenal. Like, it's so good. Like, he thinks it's bad, but like, it's really good. And he just won't put it out.
Speaking of like Eminem and stuff, like, he found Eminem, he found Kendrick Lamar,
Lamar,
and
50 Cent.
Yeah, so I
everybody.
don't blame him really for not putting out music, because he was just kind of, you know, trying to,
built a
he made
label.
their careers. Yeah. So
He created their careers, all that.
looks like
Yep.
we kind of got lost in the sauce there.
We did get lost in the sauce there.
But it looks like we're past our half an hour block here. But make sure you tune in to, I guess, so you're listening on a Sunday right now. It'll be 2 Sundays.
2 Sundays from
the
now.
release, and we'll have the teasers up. We weren't able to do it this week just because you were out of the country.
Out of the country, kind of tough. But yeah, we'll start getting some teasers up. You know, when you're listening to this one, whether it's on a Sunday, a Tuesday, a Saturday evening with your crew, you know, at a house party, everybody's sitting down having some drinks, listening to the Half Done. It's just kind of your guys' thing. That's fine. Just know that there'll be some other teaser stuff coming in.
Yeah.
Going to get a little bit more active with some of the social media presence, especially now that I'm back in the country, and we can kind of get a lot more of that stuff out. And then, yeah, here in a couple weeks, you know, from this one, you'll be getting another dose, and then, you know, a couple weeks later, another dose, and, you know, a couple weeks later, another dose. And yeah, I mean, you guys are getting the picture, so we should be getting in motion here pretty quick.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in, and we will hear from you shortly. Or you'll hear from us shortly.
Yep.